Thank you for your interest in InetSoft and its flagship product, Style Intelligence. This demo will give you a brief introduction to the product and our company. It will also show a demonstration of the dashboarding and visualization capabilities of the product and its application for big data analytics. InetSoft's Style Intelligence consists of three key technologies. We offer visualization, which refers to the building of dashboards and visual analyses. We offer publishing, which refers to more traditional paginated reporting, as well as PDF and online reporting. This kind of reporting is really the original basis for BI and is a capability that you don't see in a lot of the popular visualization vendors that are out there today. The data block is our data access layer, which is used for accessing different bits of data and mashing them up into reusable components for reuse in dashboards and reports. A little bit more on the data block. On the left-hand side, you can see a preview of the data modeling tool, which is used to configure data sources and create virtual private models. These virtual private models are used in the data mashup tool, which you can see on the right-hand side. This is a drag and drop tool for choosing data fields from whatever sources and combining them. With this tool, you can do different data manipulations on the fly, and these data manipulations become the basis for creating dashboards, visual analyses, and reports. This is also the data access layer, where you can access big data sources, relational data sources, nearly any data source. The data access layer also has the capability for caching, enabling analysis to be performed on big data sources at high speeds. A little bit of information on visualization. On the left-hand side is a preview for creating a visual analysis or dashboard using a simple drag and drop interface. On the right-hand side is an example of the kinds of dashboards which can be built quite easily with this tool. Publishing will not be covered in this demonstration. However, if you do have interest in InetSoft's publishing capability, you may see that in a personalized demo. Publishing is a point of differentiation for InetSoft because many visualization providers do not provide this kind of reporting capability, and most enterprises want both visualization and reporting. However, visual analysis is the more user-friendly tool for exploring your data. A couple points to make about the underlying platform. Our platform is designed to be enterprise grade. It can be very high performance for solution providers, allowing other tech companies to OEM our platform to provide dashboards and visualization capabilities within their own web-based applications. This application scales up with commodity-based servers and offers automatic clustering and load balancing capabilities. Security and permission granularity is a strength of the product. Right down to the data cell level, any of the capabilities or functions can be controlled at the user level or the group level. The application is very integration friendly. Other providers can integrate parts of our application to embed dashboards and visualizations, and can also create enterprise portals. A few facts about InetSoft. InetSoft was founded in 1996 and is a pioneer in the business intelligence space, with over 100 employees in 2 countries. InetSoft has a very broad customer base as a BI vendor, serving all kinds of different industries. InetSoft has a great specialty as an OEM technology. You can see the logos of a few InetSoft partners here. For those who are considering selection a little more closely, here are a few points. InetSoft's primary delivery model is as an on-premise application. InetSoft offers a great amount of flexibility in licensing. We offer licensing based on number of concurrent users or the number of CPUs, and also annual subscription models do exist. If you're an OEM, our licensing is even more flexible. We can customize it for your business model. For a few points of differentiation, for enterprises, our solution is IT-friendly. It's the easiest to deploy and support, and the high level of self-service keeps both business users and IT very happy. For OEMs, being able to customize any and all parts of the application make for a very private label-friendly solution. In comparison with a few visualization vendors, such as ClickTech or Tableau, we offer as strong visualization as they do, but also reporting capabilities, as well as more IT controls and customization. Many have complained that the very large BI vendors, such as MicroStrategy and Cognos, offer solutions that have become very large and complicated due to many mergers and acquisitions over time. Our solution is simpler to navigate and also has much more flexibility in adapting to new data sources. Our data mashup engine can take in more data sources, and users can access data even in their own spreadsheets if they desire. For this and other reasons, we are typically considered to be more cost-effective when judged on a total cost of ownership basis. We will now see a demonstration of the data mashup and visualization capabilities of InetSoft's Style Intelligence.
So just to start off with, I want to reiterate a little of what was covered in the slides. Of the 3 primary functional modules in the product, the common foundation, the data layer, which will deal with connecting to different data sources, querying and manipulating your data, the interactive dashboard visual layer, and the more traditional paginated report layer make up our flagship product. But within this demo, we will focus on the interactive dashboards and touch on our unique data mashup layer. We will not be covering reports in this particular demo. What we have in front of us is the default user portal. When you install the product, there is out-of-the-box framework to have users logging in to view dashboards and reports, even create dashboards, and of course scheduling as well. You can rebrand the logo, change the look and feel for the portal, but you do not have to use it if you do not want to. Most of our clients choose to embed us into a website or web application with single sign-on. So you have the ability to have users logging into your company site, clicking on a link or tab to seamlessly invoke the InetSoft modules. Of the different example dashboards that we have, none of them are templates that must be used to model your own data. In terms of designing dashboards and reports, as a whole, it is from the ground up based off of your needs. What area of data, what data you are pulling in, what layout, formatting, combination of charts and tables you want to have to visualize your data. So these are designed to showcase interactivity and other functionality, but again are not templates that you must adhere to with your own data. So feel free to mix and match different pieces that you like and apply them to your own industry, to your own data. This first example is designed to be more of a monitoring dashboard, seeing different key values at a glance to be able to catch on to how trends are going and key metrics that you'll be able to act upon. You want to have actionable items when you are visualizing your data to move your business forward. At the top, we're focusing on KPIs. You can display key performance indicators in many different ways. Here we're catching the attention of the user through color. Dynamically coloring whether or not things are trending in a good or bad direction, giving a simple indicator for that. For our employees' performance, we're looking at whether or not they've met their quota and clearly indicating that through, once again, coloring. Just a simple way to catch the attention of the user. You set up the rules, and then however your data is when you run the dashboard, it'll automatically apply any of that dynamic formatting for you. Dashboards can be designed with layers of information at the user's fingertips without having to necessarily navigate to a secondary dashboard by utilizing custom data tip views. Here we're isolating a top 5 companies and products on chart views that are tied to the particular month that we highlight. It's a way of having another layer of information. Within tables, you can also have layers of information working off of natural hierarchies in your data. Many times dates can facilitate that, such as this example, months rolling up into years, but you can have 2, 3, 4, 5 levels, all driven by different relationships your data has. Whether it's locations, you have your companies in cities, states, countries, and so on, or just products in a product category, different ways of grouping and bucketing your information. Sometimes utilizing charts for an overall view and tables for a detail view can work very well hand in hand when you utilize the optional click filtering. Based off of the state I'm isolating, I'm getting the details just for that state. Now you can also design drill throughs where you're going to drill down into another asset. It could be another dashboard that's been designed, or when you have the paginated reporting module as well, it could take you to a report. And it can also take you to a website. So you can design in special links and have different relationships between different elements to provide layers of information and maybe even directing you to an alternate view of information, all with simple clicking around on your charts and tables. A note about the maps: we adhere to the shapefile standard. What that means is that you can acquire or create your own shapefile and then utilize a simple process to pull them into our charting layer, and then have your own custom maps on as many different dashboards and reports as you need. And you can have as many different custom maps as is needed for whatever your reporting and dashboarding needs are. Many times with the dashboards, it's not just being able to interact with them, but also being able to extract from them and pull data outside of the tool. Built into the tables is a way to do that with a simple click to be able to export the content directly out. The dashboards as a whole also support exporting to Excel, PowerPoint, and PDF. What you'll get is a snapshot of the dashboard at the time it was exported, and that can be worked into scheduling, having it automatically do it when you need it. If it's something, say, every Monday you need it, once a day, twice a day, you can configure that up to get that exported snapshot and only go into the portal when you feel you really need to explore the data further. Having more of a high-level view with the monitoring is great, and you can design a chart to have simple interactive ways of breaking down the data, grouping the data through dynamic inputs. Same thing with tables to provide flexibility. But many times a dashboard is driven through simple filtering. Filtering on dates. We have a calendar view as well as a range slider for doing that filtering. So it's going to restrict the data to an area I'm interested in. Same thing with list filters. It's a way of enabling the users to slice and dice, interact with the dashboard, isolate the piece of data that they want to focus on. It's going to provide a flexible way of having one dashboard facilitate multiple combinations of users without having to have a saved as version of the report for simple color binding, swapping, axes, changing what's up on the metrics, on the breakdowns, on the charts, in the tables, or just through simple filtering and empowering the users to get their questions answered. Something that's automatically built into the charts, so you don't have to worry about configuring anything special, is the ability to highlight one or more than one bars, points, lines, and do what's termed brushing. In our tool, that brushing is going to highlight the data in proportion of the global context. So you're going to get all the global totals there in gray, but be able to isolate that, what you've highlighted, and see it at a glance, and be able to even find more details in our built-in show details. That's something that's, again, automatically in the charts and also in summary tables, that you can see where a value that's being calculated comes from. What rows of data is it doing that calculation to get that value? And you can extract out that. So once again, you can extract out table content, the dashboard as a whole, or even the show details. The charts also have zooming capabilities for when you have a large volume of points, you need to zoom in, have it rescale, and there are a lot of other options that you can configure from an end user's point of view. Many times the end users want to be able to have it remember their filters. They don't want to have to apply the same filters all the time. So we have a tool that allows the capturing of comments that can reference values, explicit filters, input settings, termed bookmarks. You're bookmarking your settings, and you can share that with other users, but all enterprise level security is still applied. Data row level security, security on which dashboards a user has access to, but those that do have access can leverage a shared bookmark to have it remember filter settings and also collaborative annotations or comments on the dashboard. And of course, you can tie in the bookmark that remembers your filtering into your default view of the dashboard, so that way you don't have to even swap to that bookmark, and also for scheduling. So that way you can, once again, get the portion of the data that you want through that scheduled action without having to explicitly log in to a portal, a website, a web application. For the power users or developers that are going to be designing these dashboards, the designing is all through the web. The web-based tool empowers power users and developers to work off of data sets that have been established and perform what we term data mashup, where they can reference the results of a query through simple drag and drop mechanics, apply filters, do special grouping, special calculated columns to completely transform the data and put in the logic needed to consistently transform the data before it's used as a basis for an interactive dashboard. And you can, of course, mash up data across different data sources, different data source types. You can pull data from a relational data source and then pull data directly from your desktop. And you can embed it and reference it as a use for data source of a dashboard, pulling it into charts, pulling it into tables. To define relationships, we do have very simple menu options and also simple drag and drop mechanics. So I can go onto the customer company name and define a relationship between them. So now I'm going to get my customer's detail information on location tied into my simple all sales that's showing my total sales by employee for all the companies that I sell to. And I can now use this as a basis for a dashboard, or simply pull from the query or other data layers that have already been established, empowering the users through simple drag and drop mechanics to create special mashups for use when designing dashboards, and also full enterprise level security, empowering the users to have access to only the areas of data they should when designing a dashboard. Designing a dashboard is also through simple web drag and drop mechanics. You're given a blank slate with a grid for assistance with layout that certain table-based elements will be bound to, but in terms of sizing, layout, as I mentioned at the start, there are no templates. You determine what you need, and you determine formatting, design, sizing, layout, all as you're designing for your particular dashboard consumer. If I want to create simple list filters, I can add the lists, and then I can add field that I want to filter on through simple drag and drop mechanics. It'll even allow you to work in what we term a live edit mode, which is going to give you a sample set of your data as you're designing. So you're even getting an idea of what you're designing, how it's going to look, what kind of impact it's going to have. As you continue to add elements, the main heart of the dashboard, charts and tables, will actually have an edit button, and then simple drag and drop mechanics that are going to assist you with getting the columns bound where you want them. It's going to automatically detect whether or not the column should be used for grouping, or it should be used for a form of summarization. There are simple settings for changing up the types of calculations you want to do. We do have many different statistical-based calculations, as well as standard average and sum, max value, allowing you to transform the data with the worksheet, isolate the data with your filters, and calculate the important metrics through all of the different flexible ways of setting up what type of calculation you're working from. You can, of course, continue to add elements and then format each thing individually in terms of color, font settings, formats on numbers, and so on. And then enterprise level security will once again assist with where a power user or developer can save to, and allow you to have simple folder and subfolder structure for exposing the dashboards a user has permissions to consume, and with our default portal, pinning dashboards to the dashboard tab as the favorite ones that you want to run frequently. All the filtering and the interactivity is automatic based off of this dashboard I just designed in front of you. The show details is automatically built in there. You don't have to worry about configuring anything special to get these filtering relationships or to have controls over what your dashboard looks like. This concludes our demonstration that focused on the dashboards from an end-user experience, a basic data mashup that was then leveraged to create a simple interactive dashboard, showing how that dashboard can be run with full data right away, and even creating specialized bookmark views within minutes of a dashboard's creation.
Thank you for taking the time to watch the InetSoft extended product demonstration. If you have further interest in InetSoft, we'd be happy to assist you with a free evaluation in order to determine if our solution is right for you. Email info@inetsoft.com or call 1-732-424-0400. Thanks for watching and have a great day.